Why, hi there, I'm Ron Juckett, and the new version of Out of the Park Baseball came out today, Out of the Park 18, and I thought, just for giggles, that I would, there's no we here, would run a complete 2017 simulation and try to forecast into my cracked crystal ball to see who's going to win this year, Bob. All right. So let's go through the 6 divisions, then I'll tell you what happened in the playoffs. As you know, I write for the Washington National, a website for the Washington Nationals, and I ran 3 of these, and this is the only one that the Nationals actually won the division. In fact, they did it in the last weekend over the New York Mets. OOTP loves the Mets. And for the Nationals, they couldn't keep anyone really healthy. It was either Steven Strasburg being injured or Bryce Harper being injured. Sometimes, I don't think it was both of them being injured. But the computers think, or the OOTP thinks, that the Nationals will match their win total from last year. With the Mets and the Cubs winning the wild card, they had the Cardinals in all 3 of the replays winning the division. No, actually, I take that back. They had them winning 2 of the 3 times, and the Pirates winning the division. I'm not sure there's enough in Pittsburgh for them to win the division, and I'm not buying the Cardinals are better than the Cubs, but that's why the computer plays the games. In the West, the Dodgers and Giants down the wire again. Well, this looks like last year's standings, doesn't it? But no, really, it's a replay I ran this morning. With the Padres actually being over 500, not buying that. And the Rockies finishing 20 games under 500, not buying that either. All right, in the American League, the Red Sox win the division by 5, but Tampa Bay led the American League East for most of the year. Really not buying that. The Yankees finished 3rd, the Orioles 4th, and the Blue Jays 5th. No, definitely not buying that. In the American League Central, the Indians win the division by 9. Sure, the Minnesota Twins are going to win the wild card. This is an out-of-the-box replay, by the way. Didn't do any tinkering to it. The White Sox finished 4 games above 500, huh? With the Royals and the Tigers at the end. In the American League West, the Houston Astros over the Texas Rangers by 2. Seattle 7 back, with the Angels and the A's way in the rear. The AL West seems believable. I'm not buying for a second that the Twins are going to even sniff the Indians, let alone a playoff spot at 85 wins, nor Tampa Bay. The National League East, I think Miami's better than a 75-win team. And I'd be surprised if Philly and Atlanta finished like that. I think Atlanta's better than 72 and 90, but maybe not. And I'm definitely not buying the Cubs losing out to the Cardinals. All right, so let's see how the playoffs turned out, shall we? Why, it's the Dodgers winning the World Series in 5 over the Astros, with Kenta Maeda beating Lance McCullers Jr. 9-5 on October 28th in Houston to win the World Series in 8. But somehow they gave the series MVP to someone on a losing team. A.J. Reed did hit 3 homers, I guess, in the fake World Series. In the wild card round, Tampa beat the Twins 6-4. Still not buying it. And the Cubs beat the Dodgers. The Cubs beat the Mets 6-4, with John Lester getting the save. Okay. In the division series, let's start the American League. Cleveland in 5 over Tampa, with Carlos Cargo getting 2 homers for the Indians, Brandon Guyer going 8 for 19, and with Tampa having great success from Jake Bowers and Kevin Kiermaier. And somehow, wow, I'm not buying much of these at all. Houston takes down the Red Sox in 5. That one I kind of would believe. Look at that. Altuve hit 440. And Jake Marisnick hitting 235. That would be an improvement for him. I got to say, I've watched a number of the Astros games this year. I think they can win the division, but they're going to strike out a ton. The Red Sox, how'd they do? Yeah, Bogarts Pedroia with great postseason series. Union Escobar at third, huh? Must be they're using someone as a DH with Blake Swihart as the catcher. You know who I don't see with a save? Craig Kimbrell. All right. In what would be one of the most iconic clashes of all time, the Cubs beat the Cardinals in 5 games. With the Cubs winning Game 5 in St. Louis 3-2. Well, remember, the season starts there. Let's see who hit well for the Cardinals. Stephen Piscotty and Harrison Bader, limited action. Matt Carpenter, Dexter Fowler. St. Louis is a good team. The Cubs, Chris Bryant hitting 267 in a short series. Rizzo hitting 200. We'll see. And don't look, Nats fans. The Dodgers win that series 3-1, with Strasburg losing Game 1, Sammy Solis winning Game 2, and then Ross and Gio taking the losses. The Scherzer must have got hurt. I don't see him there. This game does have injuries on. And I'm not buying that Michael A. Taylor is playing center field with it, or left field. Wow. So it says that Max Scherzer got hurt. There's a shock for you. In the LCS, the Astros over Cleveland in 7, with Lindor going off in a losing effort, and Altuve just being Jose Altuve. Dodgers getting past the Cubs at 6. Again, you never know. Justin Turner is a playoff killer. And the World Series as we started. Adrian Gonzalez only getting 1 at bat in the World Series. I think these rosters need some tweaking. Let's give you some statistics. Combined, Lindor hit 340. Mike Trout led the majors in on-base percentage. Josh Donaldson slugging percentage. Josh Donaldson in WAR. Josh Donaldson hits 51 homers. Brandon Crawford with 13 triples. Piscotty with 51 doubles. Lindor with 228 hits. Chris Davis strikes out 238 times. Pitching leaders, Kershaw with a 2.52 ERA and a 21-5 record. It loves Steven Matz, by the way, and Sonny Gray, and Joe Ross. Kershaw and Syndergaard win 20. Gausman, Sabathia with Baltimore. Oh, yeah, and a traded Foltowitz to Milwaukee. Oh, from the Cardinals gets 45 saves. Kershaw pretty much wins the pitching triple crown. Team statistics. No, I don't want that. Here's a new toy. Historical simulation accuracy. It ran hot in batting average. What else can I show you? There's the playoff tree. Let's show you the Nats real quick. It has Adam Eaton hitting 319, which would be good. Trey Turner hitting 313, which would be good. The team leader in home runs, Bryce Harper with 29, which would not be good. Rendon driving in 103, which would be just fine. Max Scherzer with an ERA of 409 and Roark at 426. I don't like any of those numbers. No one winning above 15 games, and Scherzer striking out 232. The Nats have a powerful offense, according to OOTP. They led the league in runs scored. They hit fourth. They were sixth in home runs, third in stolen bases. But pitching-wise, it was the bullpen that really sucked them. And they think that Worth and Zimmerman play themselves out. But they have Goodwin and Marmelos Diaz. And first, I don't think they even have Adam Lind, which I think would be very strange. They don't. So it must be they cut him before the season. This is all news to me. Transactions log. This would be Dusty Baker would retire. Chris Spire would retire. Matt Wieters, of course, would decline his contract option, and they do exercise Gio. I'm not sure that's right or not. Lots of promotions. Who do they demote? They place Romero on waivers. He doesn't make the team. And Milwaukee claims him while Strasburg makes a 60-day DL. That would be fun. They release a lot of people. I'm not sure they even have Lind on here. In any event, so there you go. I won't keep you any longer, but you probably want to see the Red Sox. All right, I'll show you the Red Sox. They won 93 games. Mookie Betts with 336. Henley Ramirez with 35 homers. Mookie Betts driving in 119. Porcello and Sale, good numbers. Price, oof. But Price only goes 9-11. Porcello wins 19. Joe Kelly and Steven Wright in the back of that rotation. Kimbrel saves 36, but has an ERA of over 5. Bogart's leading off, huh? There's the rotation in more detail. They signed Joba Chamberlain. He actually pitches well. Let's look at the Red Sox transaction log. Oh, they would lose Benintendi. They trade Pomeranz to the Angels for Uniel Escobar and catcher James Flores in return. I don't think that's going to happen. They signed Joba Chamberlain as a free agent. Lots of releases in May. So, it's interesting. I don't think it's realistic. But hey, you never know. So that's a quick look at what OOTP, right out of the box, we just did an auto play, didn't do any settings. Probably, which is why those numbers aren't all that great. Right out of the box, did 3 of them, and that's what we got. So, until we talk to you again, I'm Ron Checkett for Retro Sports Network. We'll talk to you the next time.